Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
And beer. And beer, and beer, and
and
beer.
Beer. I'm Bill, and this is the official interim co-host of CKCB, who has been the lead host on every episode thus far of 2026, including as well as the last one of 2025. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a round of applause for the history goon himself, Kevin Carlton. What's going on, Kevin?
Oh, you know what? I gotta start this off by saying something, man. I think I finally made it. I think I finally hit the big time. I don't know if you saw my post earlier or not.
Which one? I've seen several.
I had a YouTube video blocked by a literal billion-dollar company.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, my New Jack episode got blocked on YouTube by fucking WWE because I used a 4-second clip of a video from ECW, which they actually own. It's a 4-second clip of two guys falling off a scaffold with no sound, with me talking over top of it, and they went, "Nah, that's not gonna work for me."
Damn.
So now I get to do a YouTube exclusive episode tomorrow to replace it. Hooray.
Hey, we could cover Vince McMahon on CKCB at some point.
Oh, Jesus. We'd be here for a month, man.
Just kidding. Love you, Vince.
Eh.
Well, actually, it's not even his company anymore, so love you, Linda.
No, all the UFC guys bought it, but I can definitely bring you wrestlers if you want some. You want a pro wrestler in true crime.
It's funny that you say that because I got a email today actually asking me. It was from this upstart, the startup league, and it was asking me if I wanted to collab, basically. And I'm thinking that this is probably some local dude, and if that was the case, I would have been like, hell yeah, I'm gonna I would have come up with some sort of thing that we could do so that we could integrate and everything. I could do events with them and stuff. I've wanted to do live events the entire time that I've done this. But then I could okay, well, let me, because he didn't say where he was from, so I Googled the name of it. Ontario.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Unless you got in Ontario, Florida.
No. I appreciate the offer, sir. I do. But,
Oh.
But yeah,
Walking
this is
in
the
circles.
first episode of 2026 that I've been the lead narrator on. So right out of the gate, I might be a little rusty. Anyway, this is a 2-part episode. It's one that I have had written since September. I was saving it for Sandra once everything smoothed out with me, but that took a lot longer than I was expecting. And unfortunately, Sandra's not able to do the show anymore.
Now you're stuck with me.
But, I tried to do this with you one time. This episode, I tried to do it back in September.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, but that one got cut short. It was going just fine, but it got cut short due to unforeseen circumstances. So, since Kevin here has been gracious enough to help me keep CKCB afloat by telling us a bunch of horrible stories, I figured I'd return the favor by telling him a very horrible story as well. So tonight we're covering the dating game killer Rodney Alcala.
Like, full disclosure, before we started recording, you were doing a computer update, and I hopped on, and you sent me the thing like, "Oh, updating the computer." Okay, cool. So I'm over here doing research about emus. For something completely unrelated, I promise. And I happened to move my mouse, and I saw the picture, and I went, "Oh, no." Like, this is going to suck, isn't it? Yeah.
So, anyway, ready to get started? I have no ado, do you?
What's that?
I have no ado, do you? I think
Not
we
that
already... I think
it's all done.
Yeah, I think we already did all of our ado.
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm back, folks.
At this point in time, it's just delaying the inevitable of talking about this scumbag.
So, Rodney James Alcala, born Rodrigo Jaquez Alcala, was born August 23rd in I'm guessing it's 63, but I have written here 93.
God, I hope it's 63.
73, 83. No, it was probably 53.
Oh, yeah, okay, that one would make sense, too.
Yeah.
Like, 93 is like...
He was not born in 1993, according to, like I have in my notes here. So, yeah, we're off to a great start. But he was born in San Antonio, Texas. He killed 8 to 9 people confirmed, but his body count could be up to 130.
That's a lot, but
It
maybe.
could be. It's a possibility.
That's.
But we'll get to that. So, like I like to say on this show, we haven't done it in a while. Put a knife in that. 1953 in San Antonio, Texas. He killed 8 to 9 people. I already said that. His killing spree lasted from 1968 to 1979. Alcala.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Well, it's because his spree. Oh, put a knife in that. He was also a convicted sex offender who enticed victims claiming to be a professional photographer. And when he was caught, he had more than 1,000 photos of women and both teenage boys and girls, many of which were nude and in sexual poses.
And that's the thing with like being like, oh, I'm a professional photographer. How do you prove they're not? How do you not just be like, no, you're just some dickhead with a camera? You can't. It's not like he's got like an ID for it or something. Unless he's got a business card, but...
Business card, secret handshake, something.
Yeah.
But it's also unknown whether, however many of these people were actual murder or rape victims of Rodney Alcala. He was also a sadist. He liked to...
No.
Nah. That guy? Nah. He liked to strangle victims until they lost consciousness and then repeat the process when they woke up. He'd do this multiple times until he just got bored with them and finally finished them off.
Good guy. Good guy.
Really.
Douche.
His 15 minutes of fame were as a contestant on The Dating Game in 1978. And this was actually during his murder spree. And
the audio of that is so fucking off-putting, too.
Oh, I know. That's coming in part 2, so I've got time to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something.
Don't do video. Don't do video, because YouTube will send someone to your house to have you assassinated.
No, I'll do something. I mean, maybe we could do a little script or whatever, and you be Rodney and I'll be the girl, and it would sound like a Monty Python skit or something.
It'd be way more fun when we do it instead of him.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks.
But he's also compared to Ted Bundy due to his charm and his good looks. I don't think he's all that good looking.
See, I don't get that.
He looks like Richard Ramirez.
He does. Yeah. He's like Richard Ramirez without the drug abuse.
Right.
He doesn't have the sunken in face like.
Right.
Like Ricky Ramirez if he's had a couple of fucking cheeseburgers. He's eating good.
And it's funny because I think we compared somebody else recently on one of the episodes that you hosted to looking like Richard Ramirez. I think we did. I can't remember which one it was, to be honest with you.
I know we did Israel Keys in the Ted Bundy comparison there because he was actually wicked smart, and he drew a lot of inspiration from him. But did we talk about somebody that looked like him?
I think we did talk about somebody that looked like Richard Ramirez, but oh well, it's not important.
Oh, you know what it was? We were talking about bad childhoods on the Oscar De La Wanger episode. History Goon. Plug my show quick. And we were talking about the nature versus nurture thing, and how
that's right.
We don't know if he had a bad childhood, but Richard Ramirez did, and watched his cousin kill his wife or whatever, and
the dirty wanker.
Yeah. Yes.
Rodney Alcala was born August 23rd, 1943. Not 53, 43, in San Antonio, Texas, where he was the third of 4 kids. His parents were a Mexican couple, Raul Alcala Bacor and Ana Maria Gutierrez.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I can't believe I got through those names without butchering them.
Those ones weren't bad. You'll definitely come across worse.
Oh, I have.
But
Have you listened to my show?
Yeah.
So Raul moved the family back to Mexico when Rodney was 8, and then he just ditched the family when Rodney was 11.
Oh, good dude.
Yeah.
Very good father figure to look up to.
Yep. Put a knife in that.
We're going to run out of knives.
It's good to be back, folks. So his mother and his mother moved back to the U.S. and as a teenager, Rodney was a ladies' man in school. He was good looking, and he always knew what to do to get the girls. You know, I'm trying to phrase that the way they would back in the 70s or the 60s or whatever. You know, he was out with his best girl.
He probably would have also got the the tall, dark, and handsome thing because he was probably like a little bit more dark complected than like the regular white folks.
Yeah, or big
even though
man
he
on
wasn't
campus.
really like if you were to pass by him in the like walking down the street and be like, oh, that guy's Mexican. You know, you don't have that automatic. You know,
when we're done, or when we take a break, remind me. I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
for the dating game stuff. I have an idea.
Okay.
So anyway, but y'all are gonna have to wait because I ain't gonna tell you. Because I have to wait because it's gonna be a surprise.
Yeah,
but
he definitely had more of that. What would they call him? Like Spanish Mexican look, where
oh yeah,
like taller, lighter skinned. You know.
I mean, he wasn't a bad looking dude, but
no. But
I mean, he was no Ted Bundy.
No.
He was no Pee Wee Gaskins.
Oh, yeah, he's a handsome bastard.
Yeah.
He is, too.
I'm Pee Wee.
Man, who was the guy that, like, was raised in the chicken coop and he had one of his eyes, like, melted or something like that?
Henry Lee Lucas.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, that guy was ladies' man.
Oh, my God.
So,
just rolling in it, fighting him off with a stick.
But he knew what the girls wanted to hear. He made decent grades, and other than his father abandoning the family, there was really nothing in his past that could have triggered what he later became. But, then again, it doesn't have to take anything.
True.
Once out of high school, he joined the Army, and he was stationed at Fort Bragg, home of the 82nd Airborne Division in 1959. I used to live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is where Fort Bragg is.
Yep. That's also the
second largest military post in the United States.
Yeah, one of the Ranger battalions is out of there too.
Yep.
Remember which one it is?
I don't either. But
I do know that I've heard people from that area refer to the city as Vietnam though because it's super fucking violent.
Sandra and I covered a story from there. It was just a one-off murder, but it was Vietnam came up in that episode, and, including why it was called that. So did a little bit of history there for you, there, history goon.
Hey.
But he was evaluated by an Army psychologist. Wait a minute, I got ahead of myself. In 1963, Alcala went AWOL, and he ran home to Mama's house. And by this point, his mama was living in California, and she tried to talk Rodney into turning himself in, which he did, but I can just imagine she's just like, Rodney, turn yourself in. Be a good boy. You're a good boy.
Mom.
But Mama... No, wait, he wouldn't... Damn. Never mind. He was
I don't think we're allowed to do the one that we want to do because it would be... We'd probably get yelled at for that.
I don't know, but I that was my Henry Lee Lucas voice when I was dealing with his mama.
That Bobby Boucher thing going on.
Well, it wasn't far off. But he was evaluated by an Army psychologist who deemed him suffering from a nervous breakdown. And he also had antisocial personality disorder.
That one tracks.
But he has also had an IQ of 135.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's smart.
Bad.
That's a smart motherfucker.
You shouldn't be that mentally broken and that smart at the same time. That's a bad
Yeah, because
combination.
no good could come of that.
No, that's how supervillains are made, Bill. Either supervillains or lawyers.
Can you imagine if Rodney Alcala and Ted Bundy put together a law firm?
Oh my God, they would have been unstoppable. Oh boy, or if they ran for public office like one of them tried to. Sweet Jesus, could you imagine a president vice president combo of serial killer? That was the early 2000s, but no, never mind.
I got another idea. Part 2's going to be fun, y'all.
A second child has hit the tower.
Oh, God. But the breakdown started around the time that his father died. So we've got coping issues, daddy issues here. We've got probably a little bit of abandonment issues as well.
Yeah.
So Alcala was discharged from the Army. He then went back home and he enrolled in UCLA, and he graduated from the College of Fine Arts. There, he learned photography.
UCLA for fine. Would that be Berkeley?
UCLA. Just UCLA.
Okay, because I know Berkeley is part of that too. I thought the fine arts program was Berkeley, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the note said UCLA, so.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Berkeley may not have been rolled into UCLA at that point in time yet.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I didn't go to one, so I couldn't tell you.
But there he learned photography. And this wasn't like some of these chucklehead serial killers with a Polaroid camera. He learned how to use a SLR.
Oh, yeah, he's got the good stuff.
Film and developing dark rooms, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Back the 8 millimeter, I think, probably, or...
Yeah.
No, 8 millimeter was film, and then 35 millimeter was for cameras, right?
35, yeah. It's been so long
Yeah.
since I've even touched a camera since I started wearing glasses. But also while in college, he also got into drugs, pot,
you do.
cocaine, other things. And but nobody really knows why or when Alcala started killing or what turned him into the sadistic demon that he became.
There's really, I mean... Yeah, there's shit in his past, right? Nothing that you would normally think of, like abuse or like copious head injuries or animal abuse.
I think I had a worse childhood than he did.
You know, and he...
I'm not a serial killer. I just talk about him.
I wonder if he... What do you think of the like proto-incel kind of thing? Where like
No, because he had no problem getting women.
Right, but the one time he gets rejected, he goes, fuck these women, and that just turns into, you know, I'm not going to be rejected again kind of, no?
No, because... Put a knife in that. It has to do with his first known victim.
Okay. Speaking of proto incels, next time you get bored, let me know, and I can run one by you. Put a knife in that, and because I've got that one all set, and what a turd.
So we do know the date of his first confirmed attempted murder. It was September 25th, 1966. Rodney Alcala was living in L.A., and 8-year-old Tally Shapiro was walking on her own on the way to school. And Alcala pulled up to her asking if she needed a ride. Tally said that she wasn't allowed to ride with strangers, and Alcala told her that it would be okay. He wasn't a stranger. He knew her parents, and they said that it would be okay if he gave her a ride.
Yeah, it's not
different.
Okay.
Different time. Different time.
Yeah. Well, this is back when everybody was still hitchhiking, you know?
Mm-hmm. So Tally agreed, and she got into the car, and Alcala drove off with her. The hero of the day, a good Samaritan, saw what was going on, and it didn't seem right to him. So he followed Alcala and watched him drive into an apartment complex parking lot. They got out, and they walked to the apartment. The man went to a payphone and called police, and the police actually responded quickly at that point, which is kind of unheard of for that time.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's probably just just the kid's uncle or something like that. Just leave him alone.
It'd be all right.
Yeah. But Officer Chris Camacho, badass, the second hero of the day, noticed that Alcala's car had no license plates on it. So, dumbass.
I mean, listen, like Chris Camacho sounds like a featherweight boxer who's like not very big, but he's fast and he'd like knock the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That's a boxer name. Like usually with Latin names, I'm like, what position would this guy play in baseball? No, that's a boxer name. That's
Definitely a boxer name.
Yep.
And, I think it may have said, I think.
Oh, wait, want to know why?
He may have been
there was
a
a guy named
boxer.
Hector Camacho that boxed.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's why that was like, oh, boxer. Immediately.
So he went to the door and he knocked, and Alcala cracked the door and said that he had just gotten out of the shower and he was naked, so the cop would have to wait. Camacho noticed, what do you think?
Oh, probably some blood
No?
or something untoward. Maybe a small child wandering around.
No.
No?
No. Camacho noticed that Alcala wasn't wet at all. And he didn't have... He didn't.
So oh my God, I missed the part where he said he actually answered the door.
Yeah, he answered the door. He said that he had just gotten out of the shower and that he was naked. But
Good towels.
he wasn't wet and he didn't have a towel, but he was in fact naked.
Good towels, though. Just, instantly dried your hair. That's impressive.
Oh yeah. But he was naked. He said that Alcala had rage in his eyes and he wasn't acting calmly. So Camacho repeated the order to open the door, and Alcala was still arguing and just running his mouth and everything. And so suddenly Camacho had enough, and he heard moaning coming from the apartment. So he kicked the door in, and Alcala split out the back door.
Oh, I was really hoping it was going to be he kicked the door in and put all 6 357 Magnum rounds in his chest, and part two is us just talking about other stuff.
That happened immediately after he helped the girl, and he did actually do that and put 6 rounds in him and everything, and he died. So, all right, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank God.
We'll see you.
We're not that lucky. Womp womp. Sad trombone noise.
I don't have that one uploaded. I have that one. I just don't have it uploaded. Oh, well. But Camacho saw a little girl naked with a large bar across her neck. It was maybe like a barbell or something. It wasn't specific, but it was heavy, and she was covered with blood. There was no pulse, and she wasn't breathing. Camacho decided rather than to go after Alcala, he would stay and try to help this girl. Camacho put on gloves and removed the bar, and luckily, Tally, am I calling her Talia or Tally?
Tally.
Okay. But Tally started breathing faintly. An ambulance was called, and Tally was rushed to the hospital. And she survived. Spoiler alert.
Good.
But they searched the apartment, and they found Alcala's wallet with his driver's license in it. Dumbass. They also found a camera and lots of pictures of women, teenage boys and girls in sexually provocative poses. There was also a student ID from UCLA for Alcala. And so they went there, they questioned professors about it, and the professors told the police that there was no way Rodney Alcala could be their guy.
He's such a
he
nice
wouldn't
guy.
hurt a fly.
He's such a sweetheart.
Nah. He took my daughter to the dance. No.
I've never once watched him put a box of cats in an incinerator. He's totally fine. He's a perfectly normal guy.
Perfectly. Nothing wrong with this guy. So Camacho later said that he had to leave Oh, let me start that over again. Camacho later said that he had to leave a man behind in Vietnam, and that haunted him. He felt that Tally was his second chance to make that right. And Camacho did, in fact, save her life by staying behind.
Good.
So you know what? Round of applause for you, sir. I need to shorten that, don't I?
But to play devil's advocate, if he had just chased this guy and shot him in the street like a dog, he would have saved a bunch of lives. I understand what he did.
The needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many.
Yeah. Yep. No, I definitely see. Like, as a dad, I see where he's coming from there.
Yeah.
Because then you want to go a different direction with that one on history. You have one death is a tragedy, a million is a statistic.
True, but still, I'm glad
that was the big mustache man from World War II, not the little mustache man.
I'm glad that Tally survived.
Yeah, because I know a little bit about this case.
And?
I'm pretty. Doesn't she come back later on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tally recovered, but she didn't really remember much. She remembered the events leading up to her entering the apartment. Apparently, Rodney had a poster that he wanted to show her, and that was it. That.
Oh my God.
But he probably mentioned the poster after she was already in the car. Come on, I'll show you this poster. And you can't really make fun of that because, I mean, there was the Moors murders over in London or England and everything. The way that couple, Myra and...
I lost my glove in the field.
Yeah, I lost my glove. Let me... would you help me come find the glove? So, I mean, kids, they don't know any better. They don't know that people are douchebags.
Come out to this swamp where you're, stay off the moors, stick to the roads, but instead we're going to do the exact opposite. And, there's something scarier than werewolves out here.
Yeah.
God, that's such a good movie.
But still, Rodney was gone. And despite all sorts of APBs, talking to his mother and anybody who knew him, but he was gone. Now, does any of this sound like a first attempt to you?
Absolutely not.
Me either.
It sounds like a first failure. Doesn't sound like a first attempt.
Yeah. My thoughts do. But Alcala was placed on the FBI's most wanted list, and after that he went to New York City after raping and trying to kill Tally. He took on the first of several aliases, John Berger. He was actually able to get a legitimate ID and driver's license under that name, and he even rented an apartment under that name.
I really hope he spelled it the wrong way, though.
Berger.
Okay, that's too bad. I was hoping it was going to be, Burger. John Berger.
Yeah, John Berger.
What the fuck's a John Berger?
But he was, he didn't pronounce it Berger. He pronounced it Berger.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for the other one, but, beggars can't be choosers, I guess.
Yeah. So he was living in Greenwich Village with the hippies, and he fit right in with them.
Of course.
He also went to NYU's film school, and he made friends easily there. He was a really popular guy. Yeah, he had a camera with him wherever he went. He would line up photo shoots with a lot of the women that he saw. Hey there, I'm a photographer, see? You want to come over and...
It's weird. I always felt like, I know he wasn't, but I always felt like when he was in college, he was in his 40s, Like that guy that would just, roll up and be, hello, my fellow kids, what's up? That kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't really know how to be, not sure how to be a human.
In episode
right?
In episode 37, which was Ron Dominique, there was this instance. This came right out of the book from Confession from him, and he would say that like this one guy that he attempted to get, it was a big black guy, and he rolled up to him with the picture of his niece, saying that it was his wife, and he rolled up to him and he says, "Hey, how'd you like to fuck this attractive white woman? She'd really like to make it with a guy like you." And on the episode, I said that sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit of a white man trying to be overly white.
Yeah, yeah.
If you haven't heard episode 37, there's a little surprise for you in that one too if you want to go listen to it. But you can see some of Alcala's work online. I mean, he was a very good photographer, and he probably could have become really wealthy doing that.
Yeah, had he not had the proclivities that he did.
Right.
That kept him from focusing on his work.
But there's just something about someone with an expensive camera. Yeah, I was a semi-professional photographer when I lived in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And a good business, I mean, I had a couple steady gigs with some of the cruise ships, but boats, not ships, but a good percentage of the business that I drummed up on my own was just by walking up and down the beach with my rig. You know, families would literally walk up to me and ask for portrait sessions. I mean, it's just, with a camera, you see somebody with a camera that costs a lot of money, you think that, this guy, he's fine. Yeah.
He's trustworthy. He spent a lot of money on this.
Yeah. So.
But, I walk up and down the street with a $1,500 rifle and people call the cops on me. I'm trustworthy. I spent a bunch of money on it. That was a joke. In case my handler's listening.
And if he is listening, damn it, get me on that network. Shit.
Oh, no. I meant my handler in Washington, D.C.
Oh. I thought you meant Op. What's up, Op?
My NSA guy. The one that makes sure I can't get on an airplane.
So, June 24th, 1971, Alcala meets a TWA flight student named Cornelia Crilly. She was gorgeous. She had just moved into a brand new place in New York City, and she was excited about it. And she bumped into Alcala, and they started talking. And she was moving boxes in, and he offered to help. Of course he did. Of course,
because he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Her boyfriend showed up later, and he knocked on the door, but there was no answer. He called the police, and they came out there, and there were no signs of forced entry. She just wasn't there. A cop entered through the bedroom window, and he found Cornelia gagged, bruised, and bloody. She had blunt force trauma on her head and torso. There was blood on the floor, and it was pretty obvious she had been raped. There was also a bite mark on her breast. But in the 70s, the police could get a blood type from saliva. They swabbed the bite mark, and it came back as type A blood. There was also an envelope with a fingerprint on it, and they took that envelope into evidence and put a knife in that. So news of this murder went all over the place, and Alcala, a.k.a. John Berger, took off to George's Mill in New Hampshire.
To where?
George's Mills in New Hampshire.
Just ADD break. I'm curious.
All right.
Oh, okay. Neat. So, from where I sit right now, that's an hour and 30 minutes. It's a small town just outside of Sunapee, New Hampshire, which is not too far out of Newport, New Hampshire. So I mean, I could make a drive over there in, on any weekend, because it's not too far away from Claremont, where I do a lot of shopping and stuff. But yeah,
well,
hour and a half.
I've only been in New Hampshire for maybe 30 minutes total.
Oh, really?
I was I was coming up the highway going up to upstate New York, and I had to. And there was this area where the highway runs really close to the state line,
Mm-hmm.
and I really had to take care of some business, so I stopped there and realized that New Hampshire was like right there, and I had never been to New Hampshire. So I drove about another mile down the road, crossed the state line, got out, did my business, and then came back. And guess what? I've been to New Hampshire.
Yep. I love New Hampshire. I love not paying tax on stuff when I go over there and buy stuff. It's nice. And like, if I was going to move to a different state, depending on like the situation, if I was going to move to a different state, it would probably be New Hampshire, because it's like here, but better. Because there's no state sales tax on things under like $5,000, I think. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But Alcala got a summer job on Lake Sunapee.
Mm-hmm. Lake Sunapee. Yep.
Okay. He was teaching photography to kids. Not just kids in general. This was a teenage girls camp.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's like they custom tailored this to a rapist.
And he was actually dating the camp owner's teenage daughter.
All right, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to go bleach my brain and go to sleep. Jesus.
He was there so he could figure out exactly how to make teenage girls feel comfortable around him.
I hate this so much. I hate this so much.
This wasn't a job for him. It was training, or on the job training.
God, what did I do to deserve this? All I did was talk about a Nazi. Who was worse, by the way, I might add.
Well, yeah, it doesn't take it takes a lot to be worse than that guy.
Yeah. I mean, Satan would be right up there, but
Yeah.
you know.
Episode 164. Oscar
Derlewanger.
Dirty Wanker.
But fuck. This guy, I hate him already so much.
So, in 1971, August 1971, a couple camp girls went into town. They went to the post office there, and they were looking at the wanted posters that were hanging on the wall because, do they still do that?
I don't go into the post office enough to know.
I don't know either.
I know they have a picture of the president up there, but I don't know if they still do the most wanted thing or not.
I don't know. But Rodney Alcala was one of the pictures for what he had done to Tally Shapiro. The girls couldn't believe it. It couldn't be Mr. Berger. He's such a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they reported it. Good on them. And the FBI arrested Alcala, and they took his fingerprints, and what do you know? They matched. John Berger was Rodney Alcala.
Yeah. So just to jump back quick, most wanted posters are rarely displayed on post office walls today, having largely been transitioned to digital platforms by the FBI. Because they just figure, like, you can go on the website and look, but
you can't say that nobody goes to post office anymore, because I've been there a couple times recently, and there's still a fucking line.
Oh my God, it's miserable. It is miserable.
Yeah. So
the only thing worse than seeing that you have a package out for delivery from the post office is seeing that you have a package out for delivery from FedEx, in my experience. Because I can tell you, if I have something that's out for delivery from the post office, I'm like, it says it's going to be here today. I'll see it Friday.
Right.
Or maybe I'll see it.
So, officers from L.A. came and took Alcala back to try him for his crimes against Tally. On the flight, Alcala, as Berger, was referring to questions about Tally as he, as if Alcala and Berger were two different people. Now, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
What a douche. But Tally's parents had moved their family back to Mexico, and they didn't want to bring Tally back there to relive all the horror that she went through. And you know what? I can see that.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean,
Yeah.
she was, what, 9?
She was 8 when it happened.
Yeah, that's a traumatic thing for an adult.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it being a 9-year-old, 8-year-old.
Right,
I couldn't imagine wanting to do that to an 8-year-old.
But yeah, really. All she remembered was what happened before going into the apartment, and obviously what happened during her recovery. That's all she remembered. She didn't.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Blanked out the rest.
She didn't remember the horrific things that happened to her, and her parents wanted it to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, if she doesn't remember, why bring her into a courtroom and say, did this happen to you? Did this happen to you? I don't know, but yeah, thanks a lot. I'm going to have nightmares now from what you just said. So,
like, I think shit like that is the reason I think a lot of people avoid therapy too. Because, like, I know something bad happened, but I don't want to find out what it was.
Could be. But anyway, the case was still a slam dunk. I mean, the man who saw the abduction, along with Camacho's positive ID on Alcala's ID that they had, plus all of the photos that were found in the apartment.
Yep.
I mean, what more do you need?
And I mean, the eyewitness being a cop definitely doesn't help your situation at all.
Or did it?
The whole trained observer thing and everything.
Or did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it comes. But playing it safe or lazy, prosecutors charged they offered him a plea deal for child molestation, not rape, not abduction, not attempted murder, just molestation. And Alcala took the deal, and why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. He had to register as a sex offender, and he was sentenced to
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I have to tell my neighbors when I move.
1 to 100 years in prison, meaning caseworkers would decide if he could be released or not. Caseworkers who wouldn't know about the abduction, the rape, or the attempted murder of Tally. Yep. So, of course, Alcala took the deal.
Yep. All they know is he's a child molester. They don't know
that.
To
they
what
don't know
extent,
that he's a freaking monster. The episode during the Canada binge about the crazy Canadian cult, which has actually had part 2 and part 3, because 2 survivors from that have come on the show since then. But I made up a new term for caseworkers because of what they were doing in investigations of that cult, and I came up with case worseners.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very similar situation with what a lot of cities are trying to do, where they want to have like social workers respond to people instead of the police.
Right.
In a situation, it's like, sounds like a really good way to get somebody hurt.
Yeah.
I could see the caseworker thing being okay if you give them all of the actual information.
Yeah, everything.
Not just what's publicly available. You have to be like, hey, this is what this guy was charged with. Like, here is what we're dealing with, not just what he was convicted of.
Ain't no living in a perfect world.
And, of course, he's smart and manipulative, as we've already mentioned, so he can just be like, oh, nah, it was a misunderstanding,
And speaking of manipulative and smart, Alcala was, of course, a model prisoner. Mm-hmm. He had everybody fooled. A prison psychologist even ruled that he was no longer a threat to girls or women, and he was released in less than 3 years.
But if a dog bites a kid, what do we do with it, Bill?
We put the dog down.
Yeah.
It's not right, but still.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was, I think it's Louisiana just passed that bill where if you're convicted of a sexual offense with anybody under the age of like 15, they're no longer doing chemical castration; they're doing physical castration.
In Florida, if you put this law is now on the books, if you rape somebody, if you sexually assault somebody 12 or younger, you qualify for the death penalty.
Fuck yeah, I like that.
Damn right.
I like that.
But why stop at 12?
Yeah. I'd be in favor of upping that age limit.
Yeah. But October 7th, here we go. Good to be back, folks. I missed you guys. I missed the big chair, too. He was sitting in my chair for over a month now. Damn.
You know what's crazy is of course, because my life is falling apart in my chair that I've had for 5 years now. Like, every time I come up, I have to put it back up because the friggin' piston's dying in it. I'm like, of course, because...
You mean like this?
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that when I was recording, when we were doing the Durlawanger episode, I was down here, I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on. There we go.
When I was in the old studio, and Todd was still with us, I was doing something, and my chair just broke, and I fell freaking backwards. And then my dumbass, I got up and I put it back together, and I pushed on it a little bit, and it seemed fine. I sat back down and right back over again. And I told Todd about it. He's like, why the hell couldn't that have happened on the show?
I would have loved to have seen that on camera.
Everybody would have loved to. Hashtag, but I digress.
Yeah.
On October 16th, 1974, on Huntington Beach, California, just 2 months after being released, Alcala picked up a 13-year-old girl. He offered her a ride to school.
Wait, though. He's not a threat to women or girls anymore, I thought.
It's got to be the wrong guy.
Were they wrong? Did they get this wrong?
Couldn't have.
Police in California in the 70s getting it wrong?
Couldn't
nah,
be.
I don't buy it. This is propaganda.
Yeah, it is. Free hat. If you know, you know. But she agreed, and they drove right to the school, and then take a guess.
Oh, I mean, do we have to? I think we know exactly what happens. He wants to show her a poster or something.
No, they drove to the school, and then what?
Oh, then he just assaulted the dog shit out of her, I bet.
No, he kept driving.
Oh, that's good at least.
The girl started yelling and trying to get out of the car. I was trying to give it to you, man. I was like, damn. But she started yelling.
I'm not optimistic enough to think he just kept driving.
But she started yelling and trying to get out of the car, and Alcala grabbed her and held on to her until they got into the mountains above the beach. He pulled her out of the car and was offering her weed, and the girl wanted no part of it. A park ranger found them, and the girl told him that Alcala had kidnapped her, and he told the ranger that she just wanted to smoke with him and that she was lying. Well, see, officer, she just tried to bum weed off of me, dumb bitch. Why am I using the
kids? Get out of here!
Why was I using Pee Wee Gaskins? Damn.
Same person. Yeah. Personality-wise, same person.
But so both Rodney and the girl were arrested, although the girl was released to her parents, and it was clear that she hadn't done anything wrong. Yeah, she was saying, "I don't want the weed. I don't want to be here with you. Leave me the fuck alone." So Alcala was charged with supplying a minor with drugs and breaching parole.
And you know what's sad? If they had caught him with weed, if they'd caught him with like a nugget of weed the size of your thumbnail, he would have spent more time in jail than he did for raping and trying to murder a little girl.
Yeah.
Especially in California back then.
I am a friend of the weed. I am. I can't do it because I have a CDL. But
right. Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying that the way that we treat it as a drug is insane.
It's ridiculous.
the fact that it's just as illegal as heroin or cocaine or fentanyl or methamphetamine when it's weed. It grows naturally.
Well, it's practically legal in Florida. Practically.
I mean, it's legal. It's legal here. They just need to get it done at a federal level so that we can just get it over with and stop pretending it's dangerous.
But but Rodney was a registered sex offender, so that meant that he wasn't supposed to be using drugs either.
Mm-hmm.
So he was sent back to prison, but he was only sentenced for a violation of parole. Nothing else.
So he's, what, like 90 days?
Something like that. And less than 3 years later, he was... Okay. Less than 3 years later, he was released again. After not even 3 months of freedom, as a sex offender, once again kidnapped a girl to the shock of apparently everybody.
Yeah. But he's rehabilitated. He's such a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, back then, the psychologist said that he wasn't a threat to women anymore.
Yeah. And look at him. He's got great hair.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't do that, would he?
No, not Rodney. So, June 1977, Alcala's out, but on parole, and he told his probation officer that he wanted to visit his brother in New York.
No. No.
You
mean the place we arrested you? No.
Take a guess where his brother's career was.
Oh, he's a photographer.
No.
No? Oh, we know was his brother a cop?
Mm-mm.
What was he?
He was a colonel at West Point and an instructor there.
Damn. Like his actual brother was an instructor at West Point?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess the whole family's not fuck ups. But...
Right. So, the probation officer agreed, and with that, a sex offender who's also a flight risk flew from L.A. to New York with the blessing of his parole officer, and I honestly didn't think that the Pinky Promise Release Program would show up in this case, but here we are. And those of you who are not familiar with the Pinky Promise Release Program is exactly what I just described, where the inmate wants out, and he says, I'll come back, I promise. All right. Give me a little pinky swear. Give me a little pinky swear. And he says, all right, I'll be back. And then, of course, he doesn't show back up. Surprised nobody. Other than, there's only one person that I've covered that actually did honor the Pinky Promise Release Program, and that was Carl Panzram.
No, like, I can tell. I know you can't tell by the look on my face, but I'm disgusted by this entire thing. That his parole officer's just like, meh, whatever. He's only been arrested twice in the last 3 years for doing the exact same shit that he was doing that we arrested him for the first time.
But he'll come back.
Get out of here, you rascal. Go see your brother.
Yeah.
He's a military man. He'll keep you in line, right?
Yeah, of course.
Ugh.
But it didn't work every time with Panzram. He eventually ditched.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, if you really want to get into it, Carl Panzram is probably a worse person than Rodney Alcala. I mean, not know probably about it. He was.
Yeah.
Much worse. But,
definitely.
He stole a fucking president's boat.
His gun.
Oh, and his yacht, too. One of the yachts belonged to
not
to
the
a president.
No.
It wasn't? I thought it was. Or was
no,
it
that was from
was the mayor of New York or something?
Yeah, something like that.
And it was like, I think it was William McKinley's revolver. I could be wrong.
I don't think it was McKinley. But it don't matter.
Yeah, it was one of them.
We did Todd and I did a 3-part episode on Panzram. I don't know what numbers they were. I wasn't expecting him to come up. So the summer of 1977 in New York City was also the summer of something else. Take a guess.
What year? 77?
1977, New York City.
77. I don't think the Yankees were good at that period. Maybe they were.
It was the summer of
Sam, right?
Yeah, the summer of Sam. David Berkowitz, a.k.a. Son of Sam, he was taking orders from a dog who was not a good boy. he had all the pretty-haired dark women, pretty dark-haired women in New York City terrified because he was just shooting people at random, not to mention the 25-hour-long blackout in New York City. There was looting and arson during the outage, and thankfully Berkowitz didn't take advantage of the outage as far as we know.
Yeah.
He was probably too chicken shit to go out during the riots and stuff like that.
The dog said not to go out when there's no electricity.
Right.
Also, I was way wrong. The Yankees won their 21st World Series in 1977.
Baseball.
And any Yankees fan will remind you that they've got 29 and they haven't won one in 20 fucking years. But I digress.
By the way, congratulations to Patriots fans. I mean, all the second graders that hadn't seen their team in a Super Bowl, they're finally going to get to see their team in a Super Bowl.
You know what? Hey, listen. At least it's not the Chiefs.
True.
We don't have to see Taylor Swift at another Super Bowl this year.
You guys do a total freaking rebuild. You lose your Hall of Fame quarterback. You lose your Hall of Fame coach. Completely rebuilt the team from ground up. In 7 years, you're back in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Miami's been rebuilding since 1986.
But we're also about to break another record if we beat the Seahawks. We'll have the first player to win a Super Bowl as a player for the franchise and then win one as a coach for the franchise.
True.
So
that's true.
Mike Vrabel's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fucking terrifying linebacker too.
Yeah, he
was. Then they moved him up to like defensive end and he got even worse.
Go Seahawks.
Because they're like, oh shit, this dude's fast and strong.
Go Seahawks.
I don't care. I mean, I really don't care, honestly, but it's like, I wouldn't mind seeing the Steelers go to another one, but
I would.
They're going to be rebuilding for a little bit now because Aaron Rodgers is 72 years old and they just got rid of Mike Tomlin and then hired the coach from Buffalo.
No, from Green Bay.
Okay. Oh, that's bad.
But Berkowitz, but I digress. But Berkowitz, he did kill a couple of weeks before and a couple of weeks after the blackout. And I haven't covered Berkowitz yet.
I'm not really missing much. Like, I don't know. When it comes to serial killers, he's not like in my like top 20 of like I want to listen to this guy. Unless you start reading his letters, because he was just such a weirdo.
Well, that's part of the story, though. That's the allure. That's what.
Oh no, I mean like the letters he wrote when he was in prison.
Yeah, that's part of the story.
Oh god, they're so lame.
Add to the mix that another rising serial killer had just touched down, but at this point, officially, as far as anybody knew, Alcala hadn't killed anyone, but realistically, he'd already killed at least one person.
Yeah.
The first, Cornelia Crilly.
Yeah, and I feel like he started off more as like a rapist, and then maybe he accidentally killed a couple of people and was like,
well, Cornelia Crilly. That was officially his first one.
Right, and I think that one was probably accidental, and then the next time that happened, you don't think so?
Nah.
Because I think there's a lot of like step ups with that where like it starts off doing this and then you accidentally kill and you're like, that kind of works for me too.
I've seen pictures of the scene where Crilly was found. That was not an accident.
Oh.
You don't want to see him. Trust me.
No, I'm good.
But he probably did have a higher body count than Berkowitz did total by that time, but we'll never know.
Yeah.
But shortly after arriving, Alcala met 23-year-old Ellen Hover, who lived near the Empire State Building. She was a pretty girl with dark hair. She was very sweet. She was loved by her friends. She had a smile that would light up a room. No, I'm not going there. You never.
And it's always those ones. It's never like she was kind of an asshole.
Right.
You know.
Right. There is a podcast out there that I've listened to a few times. They're pretty good. They've been around for probably about a year and a half now, but they're called "Never Light Up a Room."
Oh, that makes so much sense.
That's a great name.
It is. Damn.
You're welcome, guys. Well, actually, I think it's like a man and a woman, but
You're welcome, people.
yeah. But she was a biology major who wanted to be a doctor. She was also a musician. And her father, this is interesting, her father owned the Hollywood club Ciro's. And she had 2 godfathers. Take a guess.
Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin.
I wasn't expecting you to get that.
No, it's a nightclub in New York in the 70s. They are involved with that. They're either owners or have spent so much money there they may as well be owners.
Yeah, you got that right on the head. It was both of them. They were both godfather to Ellen. So, yeah, she was connected.
I mean,
especially as a musician.
And that's risky territory to run into because, I mean, believe it or not, Frank Sinatra kind of knew some guys in the mob that probably would have dispersed him into several different rivers.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellen met Alcala by chance a couple of days before the outage. She had a photo shoot scheduled with him the day after the outage, July 15th. Maybe that's why he didn't go out prowling during the outage, because he already had something planned for the next day. And he was probably sitting there thinking, I hope this is over with by the time that, by the time I got my photo shoot tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't have to go grocery shopping. I door dashed. Sorry. I'm a little punchy. It's been a long day.
Oh, God.
It wasn't me.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
It was
that
him.
popped me. I didn't see Shaggy being involved with this.
So Alcala went to pick Ellen up, and a neighbor saw him and pointed him to her apartment. Yeah, she lives right up there. So that night, unfortunately, Ellen didn't call her parents, and that was something unusual because she would call her parents every single night, every single night ever since she left the nest. But the next day, her parents called the police to do a welfare check, and she wasn't at her apartment. Nothing was messed up. Nothing was missing. But she had a calendar, and on the calendar was the date July 15th. She had written John Berger, photographer.
So he went back to the identity that he was arrested under.
Right.
Because he was, I mean, not really, because he was technically 2 different people, obviously. You have West Coast Rodney and East Coast John. he can like compartmentalize it, where he's like, oh, when I'm here, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
It's like those stories you hear from back in like the 40s where, you had like a traveling salesman who had like 12 families in the same state, but because they were like spread out, like, they'll never know.
Yeah, right. But so Alcala was, like you said, like he was using the same alias that he had been using when he was arrested there 6 years prior. Not very smart with someone with a genius level IQ.
Yeah.
So the NYPD investigated John Berger, but didn't make the Alcala connection. Because remember, before, he had been arrested where?
Oh, he got arrested in New Hampshire, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he was using the same alias there, right?
Right, but still, we're still dealing with with landline phones and snail mail.
And I mean, that's a generic enough name, I guess, that you could just kind of...
Well, he was probably calling himself Berger now, and that's probably what threw him off
that
instead
could
of
be too.
Berger. I don't know. Could be. The disappearance was all over the newspapers, but a disappearance wasn't very high on the police priorities because they were looking for Son of Sam.
Right.
Yeah, the police didn't care about it, but the rest of New York did because of who she was.
Right.
She was But her father hired a private investigator and put up a $100,000 reward for her return. But she was gone, and Alcala took off back to L.A. I'm back, P.O. Here's my pinky.
Yeah. I was a good boy. I didn't do nothing.
But he never went to Virginia.
Of course not.
So,
Of course not.
November 1977 in L.A., 16-year-old Jill Barcombe left New York to live there in L.A. She turned 18, and she was the fifth out of six kids. She also wanted to be a doctor. November 10th, 1977, Jill's brother got a phone call saying he needed to come home because Jill's body had been found posed on a mountain road.
Ugh.
She had been strangled and beaten severely, raped. She was nude, and she was posed in a kneeling position. Some of her clothes were draped over her. Blood was everywhere, and there was a large bloody rock that was next to her, and that was the murder weapon.
Fuck.
She also had a savage bite mark on her breast. But she also had defensive wounds, meaning she put up a fight.
Good.
Yes. She had different sets of strangulation marks on her neck, meaning that Alcala had choked her out, waited till she woke up, and then did it again. Authorities actually thought that Jill was the victim of the Hillside Stranglers because of how badly she had been beaten and where she had been disposed of.
I wonder if he knew about some of this stuff, and that's why he was doing it the way he did.
Very possibly, because their murders were all over the news.
Right.
Because of the brazen way that the bodies were disposed of. I haven't covered them yet.
But then if you think about it, like if he was going to do that, then the one in New York he would have shot.
Right.
But I mean, it's New York City in the 70s. Like,
but still,
violent crime is going to happen.
But still, he might not have even known about Son of Sam.
Right. That's true. That's true. But like I said, it's New York in the 70s. Violent crime is going to happen.
Right.
You know. Kind of like it's L.A. in the 70s, violent crime is going to happen. Or L.A. in the 90s, violent crime is going to happen.
Yeah. But, they were obviously active in the same area at the same time as Alcala.
Yeah.
There was a podcast that I listened to a while ago. I can't remember what... It might have been the Hillside Stranglers. But they were talking about how, I can't remember which podcast it was, but they were talking about how all of these serial killers, all operating around, during the 70s, not just in L.A., but L.A. because there was a much higher concentration of people there, but really all over the country. And one of the people brought up the point of lead was in the water then.
Yeah, that may have something to do with it, honestly.
It could. Yeah, that's a good theory. I wish I knew what podcast that was. If you know, hit me up. I don't remember which podcast it was. It was a while ago, but that was just something that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
hate to bring him up again, but like Henry Lee Lucas, like his main water source was runoff from a chicken coop.
Right.
So I mean, he's getting some gnarly shit in his system from that.
Yeah.
But
Jill was soon ruled out as a victim of the Stranglers, so police knew that they might have another serial killer on their hands. But this time, Alcala didn't bounce back to New York. He stayed in L.A. And that's where we're going to wrap it up for part 1. So be sure to turn in next week for part 2.
Yeah. Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
Damn it.
So thoughts?
I hate him.
Yeah, me too. He's a real douchebag.
I've listened to other shows cover him before, so I'm kind of familiar with the case, but it doesn't make it any better, Right. That makes sense. Like, this, I've heard the details before, but it still sucks. I hate to bring like modern day stuff to it, but as much as people bitch about the cops now, think about how much worse it was when they didn't communicate with each other.
Oh, no kidding.
It's like you couldn't have a serial killer like this now.
No.
Because his shit would be all over everywhere. Like they're sharing DNA at like the state, county, and federal level. You couldn't have a serial
not only
killer
that,
get away with this.
if you tried to grab somebody off the street, somebody's going to flip phone activate and get it, and
Between everybody walking around with a camera in their pocket, and then all the CCTV cameras on everything, you could never have somebody get away with it like this. At least not here.
No, not
a less developed country, absolutely, but here, not a chance.
not if you're so much. If you even kill somebody now, you're going to get caught.
Yep.
There is a 99.
Not necessarily prosecuted, but you're going to get caught.
Yeah, you're 99.8% chance you're going to get caught.
Yep.
So yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a blast.
Glad to be back. So,
Oh,
all right, well, thanks a lot for listening, everybody.
Of
And
course.
thanks
Not
to
me.
History Goon, Kevin, you smug
I'll
asshole,
go fuck
you.
myself now.
Thanks a lot for listening, everybody, and thanks to History Goon, Kevin, for helping keep the show
course.
afloat. So,
Of course. Do what I can.
I know CKCB is not for everybody, but it is for the cool people, and I'm glad to be back. I'm really glad to be hosting again. So please like, share, and subscribe, rate, review, and do all the things. And as always, if you like us, tell a friend, and if you hate us, tell an enemy. I haven't said that in forever. And until next week, later.
Hey, love you. Bye.
And listen to History again. Bye.